Especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis, where Cornerstone University and 14th-ranked University of St. Francis collide in a midweek matinee USF home opener to accommodate the USF volleyball team, which tangles with Indiana Wesleyan University at 7 p.m. in a Crossroads League Tournament semifinal match. USF is out to rebound from its first game against an NAIA #1 ranked team since November of 2016, when then #1 Marian University defeated visiting USF 72-57. Preseason #1 Concordia University out of Nebraska defeated USF 84-55 in the Cattlemen's Classic in Seward, Nebraska on Saturday. Despite a Kara Gurka double-double, 19 points and 11 rebounds. Gurka was named to the All-Classic team for her effort against the team that is 4-0 early this season and has won 40 of its last 42 games over the last 2 seasons. USF won its season opener on Friday at the Classic, a dominant 82-49 decision over Doane University out of Nebraska. Emma Applegate scored a team-high 18 points, one of 10 Lady Cougars to score in the season opener in that 33-point win. The 14th-ranked Lady Cougars quickly broke out to a double-digit lead in the first game of the 19th annual Cattle Classic in Walls Arena. Dating back to the 2017-2018 season, Applegate has scored in double figures for 3 consecutive games and matched her 2017-18 season and career high in the opening game of USF's 45th season. She was 6 for 6 from the free throw line and led USF in rebounding with 4. Lindley Kistler came off the bench to join Applegate in double-digit scoring, finishing with 16 points. She led USF scoring with 13 in the first half. Kistler also finished with 3 blocked shots. Gurkha scored 13 points while USF guard Savannah Buck just missed a double-double, finishing with 11 assists and 9 points. So it's great to kick off the season here at the Hutzel Athletic Center for the Lady Cougars. Once again, 1-1 on the season. St. Francis welcoming back Lauren McBriar this year. She is a redshirt sophomore after taking an injury redshirt season ago. McBriar, as a freshman, was a candidate for the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year, finishing third in the All-Crossroads League, making the All-Crossroads League third team. McBriar, as a freshman, averaged 14.6 points per game while averaging a team best 32.7 minutes played per game. She shot 40% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc, 73% from the free throw line. Of course, Kara Gurkha was the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year that year. She was second team All-Crossroads League. In her freshman season, she ranked number 22 in the country, shooting 52% from the field, and ranked number 29 in the country, shooting 81% from the free throw line. She also connected on 30 of 87 three-pointers, shooting 35%. Gurkha last year was first team All-Crossroads League and a third team All-American. She shot 56% from the field, 45% from beyond the arc, hitting 49 of 108 three-pointers and 78% from the free throw line, while averaging a team best 18.4 points per game. Lindley Kistler last year was a sophomore. In her first year with the team, she transferred to St. Francis from IPFW Division I school. Kistler averaged 13.8 points per game, which is second best on the team, while shooting 45% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc, and 76% from the free throw line. Savannah Buck was third team All-Crossroads League a year ago. Savannah, a point guard in her freshman season. Savannah ranked number 20th in the country with 133 assists and number 26 in the country with 76 steals. Last year, Buck had 117 assists and 63 steals. We're going to send it down to our PA announcer for the starting lineups in today's national anthem.
Let us pray. Loving Lord, we thank you for all you've given us to get to this day, these athletes, coaches, officials, and fans. Keep us all safe today, free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. Words of St. Francis enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your holy will. Amen. Please remain standing for the pledge of the national anthem.
So there we have it, the starters for today's contest. Head coach for St. Francis is Coach Jason Ridge. In his 4th season, assistant coaches are Tom Ream, Scott Wessel, and Paige Frisch. For Cornerstone University, Jessica Yonkers, a 2005 graduate from Cornerstone in her 1st season. Assistant coach is Josh Sapenke. In the center to tip it off, that's number 30, Emma Applegate for St. Francis, and number 4, Katrina Goebel, a sophomore forward for Cornerstone. So possession will go to Cornerstone to start this game. The Golden Eagle enters this contest with a 1-4 record, having coming off their first victory of the year 2 days ago, and that was against CGU 64-63. Nice feed down low as the first bucket of the game will go to Goebel. Crow over the timeline, gives it up to Savannah Buck. Savannah, a 3-year starter at point guard for your Cougars. Feed down on the block, nice pass to Kara Gurka. She's double teamed, and possession's gonna go to Cornerstone. It'll be Goebel with the inbounds pass, and they're gonna reverse that call as absolutely it looked like Gurka's shot had gotten blocked and gone out of bounds. So it'll be Buck with the inbounds pass, lobs it into Applegate off the backboard, rebounded by Gurka but knocked away. In control is number 33, Sterling DeGainer, a sophomore for Cornerstone at 5'4" from Linden, Michigan. Has that swiped away by Buck and regained by the Golden Eagles, Maya Udell, a senior at 5'7". She's from Ada, Michigan. On the jump ball, possession goes to St. Francis. Now it's Buck over the timeline. Applegate out to Crow. Good movement around the perimeter to Lauren McBriar. Her three-pointer off the heel. That was rebounded by number 44, Shelby Nybor, a sophomore at 6'1" from Jenison, Michigan. Buck with the tight defense on Udell. Pump fake from the top of the key, back out to Udell. Goebel has it knocked out of bounds, but possession will stay with Cornerstone. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Goebel on the inbounds, Gurka guarding the inbounder. 9 seconds now on the shot clock. DeGainer with the left-hand dribble. Extra passes here. Cornerstone's going to have to get this one off, and they do not, as the bank shot is good for DeGainer. They'll wipe that one off. Cornerstone stays with the 2-0 lead. Entering today's contest, Kara Gurka, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Emma Applegate's 3 of 7. Lindley Kistler, 4 of 11. Savannah Buck, also 4 of 11. Lauren McBriar, 2 of 11, currently on the season. Buck, long three-pointer. As that one misses wide right, but tracked down by Gurka. Good ball movement by the Lady Cougars as Applegate brings it home to give the Cougars a 1-point lead in their first basket of the game. Good take by Sydney Crow, and in transition, Savannah Buck. Cougars 5-0 run. The Cougars with the trap at half court. Feed goes down low to Nybor, who muscles it in for her first basket of the game. McBriar once again off the heel. .7:05 left to play here in the first quarter. Bounce pass goes to Crow. Scoop shot's no good, but the putback is by Kara Gurka. Gurka with her first 2 points of the game as the Lady Cougars are staying in this press early on in this contest. Goebel, driving from the free throw line, was walled off by McBriar down in the low block. Extra dribble as the jump shot is good for number 34, Allison Richards. McBriar, good ball movement once again by the Lady Cougs as Kara Gurka knows what to do with it. She now has 4. Gurka leading all scorers early on in this game as the Lady Cougars take a 3-point lead. St. Francis once again opening up the season with an 82-49 win against Doane, but then losing to number 1 Concordia 84-55. Off the bench, it's Alexis Thorbon now to enter the game, number 35. Alexis goes 5'9". She's a sophomore from Ottoville, Ohio. She'll come into the game for Emma Applegate. Lindley Kistler also now into the game for St. Francis. Kistler, one of the better 6 players in the country, as Gurka once again sinks it. She's got 6 points now. Udell being guarded by Lauren McBriar. McBriar last year hurt her knee about 2 weeks before the season started, so it was a big blow for the Lady Cougars, as that shot is off the mark and rebounded by McBriar. Thorbon now dialing it up from long distance. Lady Cougars with the offensive rebound. Bounce pass goes into Gurka. She's double teamed. That's going to be a common theme throughout the season. Gurka once again the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year in her freshman year, and last year was a 3rd-team All-American. She's the first All-American for St. Francis since Brooke Ridley. As that pass is errant, taken by Gurka. Buck, McBriar, Kistler. McBriar is wide open. This one rims in for Lauren McBriar. So we get a timeout here at 4:47. So that'll be a 30-second timeout here by Cornerstone. Shayna Temple now entering the game for St. Francis. She's averaging 11 minutes played per game on the season with 3 assists. Savannah Buck leads the team with 15 assists. She's also got 2 steals. Lindley Kistler leads the team with 3 steals. Most 3-pointers made are by Savannah Buck and Kistler, both shooting at 36% from beyond the arc. Kara Gurka, what a strong start to the season, as can be expected. She's 13 of 20 from the field, shooting 65%, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line, averaging 7 rebounds a game for Kara Gurka. 3-point attempt on its way, and nothing but the bottom of the net for Brooke Moderman. Kistler, skip pass. Shayna Temple for 3. Off the mark, but a nice rebound by Kistler. She tipped it to herself. Picking up the loose ball, that was Thorbon down on the block. Got a 2-3 zone being played here by Cornerstone. Kistler, the 3-pointer, left short. Temple with the offensive board. Buck hardly ever leaves the floor, averaging over 30 minutes played per game. And there's a 3-pointer for Savannah Buck. Buck now with 5 points. Lady Cougars lead it 17-9. That'll be another turnover here by Cornerstone as the pressure defense is paying off for Coach Jason Ridge. So 3 Lady Cougars with 3-pointers already in this game. St. Francis entering today has taken 55 3-pointers on the season, shooting 35% from beyond the arc. Thorbon tied up for a second as the pass goes over to Kistler. Lindley Kistler telling her to think before she makes that pass. Kistler was tightly guarded. with the defense, number 21, Moderman. Kistler's three-pointer with 6 seconds on the shot clock is good. Lindley Kistler now the 4th Lady Cougar to drain the three. It's like Sydney Crow set to check back in for St. Francis, as that was Savannah Buck with the thievery and the bucket. Savannah now with 7 points in this one. Another turnover by Cornerstone. Checking back in for Cornerstone will be DeGaynor, as Savannah Buck's going to check out and Crow's going to take over at point. 2:55 left to play here in this first quarter. That was Whitney Will, I believe, getting a hand on that one, Rebecca Crosby. Good defense by Thorbon. Bounce pass is stolen. Temple going the other direction with it. No foul called there on Crosby as she reached on the arm. Broken Gamble with the pass. Little strong down low by Nybor. And we got a tie up. Whitney Will, jump ball, possession going to be in favor of St. Francis. So Shayna Temple and Alexis Thorbon going to check out. Emma Applegate back into the game. Along with Lauren McBriar. Inbounds pass right through the hands of Nybor as she tracks it down. Gamble, good look down on the block. Goebel had it stripped away from her, picked up by Will. Crow now pushing it for St. Francis. Pump fake and the dribble drive by Lindley Kistler as she is met at the cup looking for the foul. Lots of body by the Lady Golden Eagles. Crow to inbound it. Nice bounce pass into Kistler. Draws the contact. Gets the bucket and one for Lindley Kistler. Lady Cougars are rolling right now, up by 15. Kistler entering today is a perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line, as that one rims in. Sterling DeGaynor, picked up right at the timeline by McBriar. McBriar playing heavy minutes here early in the season, which is good to see. A full recovery from that injury. Reverse lay-in, no good, but a foul going to be called on number 31. Whitney Will, the sophomore center at 6 foot from Fort Recovery, Ohio. Same school as Cassidy Rammel, the senior outside hitter for the ladies volleyball team, which will take on Indiana Wesleyan later today at 7 p.m. DeGaynor's free throw is good. It's her first point of the game. Second one good as well. Golden Eagle pull within 14 now, 25-11. Applegate over to Crow. Once again, the passing by this Lady Cougars team is phenomenal. Kistler from downtown. A little bit strong, but the putback is good by Emma Applegate. Emma, that's her 5th point of the game. DeGaynor over the timeline. Lady Cougars in a man-to-man defense as that was knocked away by Applegate. Crow with the tight defense. And no charge called. That was number 24, Maya Udell. Savannah Buck back into the game for Kistler. Nybor, as we've got 55 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Gamble's three-pointer off the heel. Nybor cannot come down with the rebound as Buck comes out with it. Savannah now with a little giddy up into her step. Down low, Gurka has it knocked away from behind. Good defense by Udell. Udell to bring it up. We have about 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. That one's stolen by Savannah Buck. Buck now with 2 steals unofficially in this game. Foul is going to be called on Nybor. I believe that that'll be her second, the team's third. I believe that's Emma Applegate that got slapped with the foul. Buck goes up top to Crow. 19 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. A great first quarter for St. Francis, up by 16. Buck's going to wait for the last shot here. Over to Crow, 8 seconds. Should say the Lady Cougars will. Savannah left all alone for 3, just a bit short. 1 second left, and that will do it for the first quarter. Lady Cougars lead it 27-11. We'll be right back with more Lady Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the 3rd rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no.
We are back to action here in the second quarter. St. Francis up 27-11. Another 3-pointer, that one by Lauren McBriar. McBriar's second 3-pointer. She's 2 of 4 from beyond the arc in this game. Missed her first 2, has hit her last 2. Down low, beautiful hard dribble in the lane for number 34, Allison Richards. Beautiful feed, Gurka to Emma Applegate, who finishes, looking to get the and one. Free throw attempt is no good there by Applegate. .9:19 left to play here in the second. It'll be Crow with the inbound. Savannah down low to Gurka. Gurka with a big first quarter for St. Francis, 6 points. That shot's off the mark, and an offensive foul going to be called against Kara. Nice trap at the half court, and a steal by Crow. Crow and Buck with the suffocating defense in transition. Crow a little strong on the layup. And we got it tied up. Excuse me, they're going to call a foul. It's going to go against number 34. Allison Richards for Cornerstone. It'll be her first. The team's third. McBriar, great lay-in, bucket. She'll head to the free throw line. Lauren, that's her 5th point here in the second quarter. So a timeout called by Cornerstone. That's a full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching Lady Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back, everyone. Cornerstone now with 13 points in this game. They had 11 in the first quarter. Leading the scoring is number 21, Brooke Moderman. Moderman has 3 points, It's Allison Richards, number 34, who has 4 points for Cornerstone. As McBriar's free throw attempt is strong off the heel. Lauren McBriar entering today's game was a perfect 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. So she'll be 3 of 4 now, shooting 75%. McBriar all the way out with the defense on to Gaynor. Gamble working off the pick. Traveling going to be called here. Another turnover by Cornerstone. Lady Cougars doing a great job in this game, forcing the turnovers. $15 going to be called with the push. Number 14. That's Brogan Gamble. Starter in today's game. Crow's first free throw is up and in. For Sydney Crow, that's her first point of the game. Does have a steals. That one is a miss, but nice tip out by Savannah Buck. Now Crow driving from the wing, walled off by 2 Golden Eagles. Loose ball is tracked down by Buck. Left-hand dribble drive finds Crow out of the corner. Applegate's three-pointer, spot up, just left short. Buck fighting for the rebound. Last touched by Savannah. Ball movement, getting it up the floor. 15-foot jumper, strong off the heel, rebounded by Kistler. Kistler from way downtown knocks it in. Lindley Kistler now with 9 points in this game. That'll lead all scorers for Kistler, showing the range. Gamble, right-handed hook shot off glass is good. For Campbell, that's her first 2 points of the game. Brogan Gamble is a junior at 5'4", as Kistler's starting to feel it here for Lady Cougars. Skip pass goes over to Gamble. And a little bit too quick. That's another turnover by Gamble. Called with the travel. Feed goes down low to Josie Kolkman. She's going to be called with the travel, so the Cougars, Lady Cougs, turn it right back over to Cornerstone. Up next for St. Francis, they will travel to IU East, ranked number 33 in the country, on November the 10th. And then at Ohio Christian on November the 13th for a 7 p.m. tip-off before taking part in the Marion Classic in Indianapolis, Indiana. Marion, the winners of the Crossroads League regular season and tournament last year. They definitely are one of the top teams in the country, one of the top programs in the country. Pass over to Kistler. That one off the front of the rim. Nice rebound. Down low by Kolkman, but this time going to be called the double dribble. Josie Kolkman wears number 13, sophomore center at 6'2" from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. Ball left for Moderman. 40-15 is your score. St. Francis piling on here in the second quarter as well. Feed goes down to Goebel, back out, three-point attempt. Off the mark, Kolkman with the board. So possession will stay with the Cornerstone Golden Eagles. After the jump ball with the inbounds pass will be Moderman, the sophomore at 5'10" from Allendale, Michigan. Goebel, good crossover. Spin move off glass is good. Katrina Goebel, her first bucket here in the second quarter, now has 4 points. Chandler Jones into the game for St. Francis. Jones, a do-everything player for the Lady Cougars. Feed down low to Thorbon. Had that knocked away from behind on the shot. Just altered the shot a tad. Good defense by Kolkman out there on the perimeter. Swat by Lindley Kistler down low. That was Moderman with the lay-in attempt. Kistler now gets it back for three. Left rim's no good. Knocked out by Kolkman, so possession. They're going to say that was last touched by Cornerstone. Shannon Temple back into the game along with number 31, Whitney Will. It'll be Chandler Jones with the inbounds pass. McBriar from way downtown. Halfway down pops out. That was DeGainer securing the possession for Cornerstone. Jump stop feed down low goes to number 42, Crosby. Rebecca Crosby is a freshman at 6 foot from Traverse City, Michigan. Three-pointer by Temple is good. Shayna Temple, that's her first bucket of the game. And it's a big one as the Lady Cougars are raining down threes here in the hut. Lead is now 43-17. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. In the Crossroads League, Marion University, ranked number 4 in the country, is 2-0 on the season. Bethel College at 3-1. Huntington University at 3-1. They're receiving votes at number 35. Taylor University with Kendall Bradbury. Nice hook shot by Chandler Jones. That's Jones' first 2 points of the game. But Taylor University with a 3-1 record. Goshen College at 2-1. MVNU at 2-1. Another take by St. Francis. Lady Cougars an impressive home debut as Cornerstone struggling just a bit to start the season. Temple with the right-handed hook shot. Shayna with back-to-back buckets now has 5. Cornerstone once again starting off the season with an 81-69 loss to Trinity Christian. Baseline jumper is strong by number 11, Emma Johnson, a freshman. Very young roster here for the Golden Eagles. Once again, their coach, Yonkers, is in her first season. McBriar, strong takes, going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Lauren McBriar is 0 of 1 from the free throw line in this game. The first free throw attempt is up and in. McBriar now 4 of 5 from the free throw line on the season. Applegate set to check back in for St. Francis. McBriar now at 10 points in this game as Savannah Buck's going to check in. Along with Emma Applegate. Whitney Will now on the point guard. Gainer. Gainer picks up her dribble, smothered by Buck. Zone defense here being played by St. Francis. 4 seconds on the shot clock to Gainer, off the heel, no good. Temple with the board. Good movement for the Lady Cougars. That's been all day. The passing has been phenomenal as Emma Applegate finishes off glass. Applegate now with 9 points in this game. To Gainer. Lady Cougars just not leaving any space for the Golden Eagles to get anything to happen. That would have been a great shot there by Johnson, who does roll out. Will now driving from the free throw line as a foul is going to be called on Cornerstones. Number 23 with the hold. That is Megan Bauer. First free throw is a little bit strong for Will. Whitney entering today, a perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Misses the first. Second one is good for her first point of the game. Lady Cougars up now 52-17. Having no problem filling it up here against Cornerstone. Of course, the Cornerstone's men's program, one of the top programs in the country year in, year out. Women trying to do the same there. Out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Deja Hinton now into the game for St. Francis. As a three-pointer is good by Emma Applegate, her second three-pointer of the game. That one was a beauty. Now a three-pointer by Gamble's good. Brogan Gamble with 5 points, all coming here in the second quarter. 20 seconds left here, a 35-point advantage for St. Francis. Applegate dialing it up from long distance as she will be fouled. So that's the second foul for Allison Richards. As the first free throw is up and in for Applegate. Lady Cougars, one of the most impressive first halves I've seen from this squad. 6 seconds remaining. Golden Eagles just looking to get a shot off, as that'll be another ball turned over and chased down by Deschnay Hitton. Wow, the Lady Cougars here in the first half lead it 57-20. We're going to take a break here from the Hutzel Athletic Center, and we'll be back with you after 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. and then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where the Lady Cougars lead it 57-20 over Cornerstone. I'll go over some of the halftime stats for you. Leading St. Francis in scoring was Emma Applegate with 14 points. She also had 1 assist and 1 rebound. Lindley Kistler had 11 points. Lindley was 2 of 6 from beyond the arc and 4 of 9 from the field. With 1 assist and 3 rebounds, Lindley also had 1 block for St. Francis. Lauren McBriar with 10 points. McBriar was 2 of 4 from beyond the arc and 3 of 5 from the field, with 1 assist and 3 rebounds. Sydney Crow had 1 point, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals in 12 minutes played, the second most minutes by any of the Lady Cougars. Kara Gurka with 6 points. She had 4 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. Savannah Buck led the team in minutes with 13 and 47 seconds. She had 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Shayna Temple with 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal in 7 minutes played. Whitney Will had 1 point, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Chandler Jones had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Lady Cougars had 9 steals there in the first half, while forcing 11 turnovers. St. Francis themselves with 7 turnovers. Leading Cornerstone in scoring was number 14, Brogan Gamble, with 5 points. She also had 1 steal. Katrina Goebel had 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Shelby Nybor with 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Sterling DeGaynor with 2 points, 2 rebounds. Brooke Moderman with 3 points. And Allison Richards, 4 points, 1 rebound for Cornerstone. Golden Eagles shot 38% from the field on 8 of 21 shooting, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Cornerstone just having a hard time getting a shot off by that suffocating Lady Cougar defense. St. Francis shooting 21 of 41 from the field, 51%. 8 of 20 from beyond the arc, 40%. And 7 of 11 from the free throw line, shooting 64%. St. Francis leading it after one, 27-11, then outscoring Cornerstone in the second quarter, 30-9. So an outstanding performance here by St. Francis, their home opener on the season. We'll take one more break and we'll be right back with you for second half action here from St. Francis.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream, and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The chapel project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg.
Welcome back, folks, as we are about ready to start the second half action here from the Hutzel Athletic Center. How about the Lady Cougars up 57-20 over these Golden Eagles out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Looking at some of the individual leaders in the Crossroads League, Kendall Bradbury averaging 23 points per game. Kendall is one of the most, well, she can just do everything, folks, on the basketball floor for Taylor. I believe she's a senior now for the Lady Trojans. Sam Hamill from Huntington's averaging 18 points per game. Kelsey Brickner out of Bethel averaging 18 points a game. Bethel is a team on the rise as they have suffered some tough seasons as of late. About 7 years ago, they were an NEI tournament team, but then they were the cellar dwellers for a number of years in the Crossroads League. They are slowly but surely getting better. Nice defense there by Emma Applegate, forcing the turnover. Sydney Crow coming the other way with it. Three-pointer by Lauren McBriar. It's going to left rim, no good, not a bounds. 9:14 left to play here in the third. A 37-point advantage for your Lady Cougars. Both teams looking to get their first scoring in this game. Over the timeline, that's the point guard, number 33, DeGaynor for Cornerstone. Feed goes down low to Goebel. Goebel has it knocked away. St. Francis now with 11 steals in this game. Nice take, baseline drive by Sydney Crow. For Crow, that's her first bucket from the field. She now has 3 points. Crow getting it done, though, with 2 steals in the first half. Her 2 steals was a game high. Double dribble going to be called. Or excuse me, that's Kara Gurka called with the foul. Slap on the arm. That'll be her second, team's first here in the third quarter. So a full timeout going to be called against Cornerstone. We'll stay right here. Going back to the scoring, Macy Willowby from Marion is averaging 17 points a game, which is 5th best in the Crossroads. And Taylor Gregory from Mount Vernon Nazarene, rounding out your top 5, she's averaging 17 points a game. Kara Gurka is at the 7th spot, averaging 16 points for St. Francis. Also, Emma Applegate comes in at number 16, averaging 11.5 points per game. So those are your top 20 scorers. Looking at field goal percentage, Kara Gurka ranks number 1 in the conference, hitting 65% of her shots from the field. Entering today, hitting 13 of 20. Expect that to stay the same. As we talked about earlier this year, her freshman year, second team all-conference, was nationally ranked, shooting over 50% from the field, and last year doing the same. Last year she was named third team All-American. Rachel Perry from Mount Vernon Naz is shooting 57% from the field. Steals per game, Sam Hamill out of Huntington, and expect Savannah Buck to creep up that list as well. Rebounds per game, Taylor Gregory out of Mount Vernon Naz. Kendall Bradbury comes in at number 4, averaging 9.5 rebounds per game. So all that should go up. Feed goes to Crow. Applegate, long three-pointer up top. Nothing but the bottom of the net. The long triple for Emma Applegate. Emma, the leading scorer in this game now, with 17 points. Emma Applegate last year mostly came off the bench until later in the season when she took over the starter's role. Doing a great job here now with 17 points. Remember, she was the leading scorer in that first game for St. Francis as well, as that shot's off the mark by McBriar. Applegate once again driving hard to the cup. She now has 19 points. Applegate's only a sophomore for Coach Ridge, 6 foot from South Bend, Indiana, Niles High School. A lot of 6-footers on this team. Whitney Will, Lindley Kistler, Josie Kolkman at 6'2". Chandler Jones goes 5'11". Chandler Jones is ultra athletic. Her brother Hayden Jones at East Noble High School also just super athletic. He played football this year at wide receiver and he's one of the best basketball players in the area, only a junior. That ball is tipped right to number 24, Maya Udell from Cornerstone. Nice strong drive that's going to be blocked by Applegate down on the block. Folks, make sure to visit stfranciscougars.com for all the latest in Cougar athletics. If you go to the schedule for women's basketball, you can see the history between these two teams. St. Francis leads the series 7-4. Last time out, St. Francis won 67-45. That was last year on November the 4th. It's almost 4 p.m. here at the Hut as the first half flew by. 64-20. That's your point guard, Sterling DeGaynor, the sophomore, at 5'4". Top of the key, left-hand dribble drive. Nice no-look pass, but boy, is that in traffic. Drawing the foul is number 42, Rebecca Crosby. Crosby will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Crosby on the season, entering today a 75% free throw shooter, hitting 3 of 4. Looking for her first point of the game as that one misses short. Lady Cougars right now shooting 50% from the field on 24 of 48 shooting. That second one's no good, rebounded by Applegate. Looks like a whole new line coming in for St. Francis. 5 new players about to sub in as the three-pointer is good for Savannah Buck. Buck now at 10 points in this game. McGuire nearly comes up with the steal on DeGaynor. Handoff goes to number 24, Udell. Lady Cougar defense is giving Cornerstone nothing. And we got a jump ball. McGuire was able to tie up Crosby, the freshman. So Alexis Thorban checks in, along with Chandler Jones, Lindley Kistler, Shayna Temple, and Whitney Will. Kistler and Savannah Buck both out of Homestead High School. And if you want to see a good high school girls basketball team, it's Homestead. They traveled to Carmel this past Saturday and handed the Lady Greyhounds a big loss. Thorban knocks it down from 15, her first bucket of the game. Everybody scoring for the Lady Cougars. 10 Lady Cougars now with points. Checking in for Cornerstone is Gamble along with Nybor, sophomore center. The inbounds pass, it'll be Brooke Moderman. Turnaround jump shot from 13 feet, no good by Nybor. Temple bringing it up. Jones from the near wing. Kistler left hand take pops out. Strong off the glass. Picking up the board was Moderman, the sophomore. 4:24 left to play in the third. Nice steal by Lindley Kistler. She's looking to go all the way with it. Nice bounce pass to Shayna Temple as they finish in transition. Kistler with the steal. Temple finishes. Shayna Temple now with 7 points in this game. You can tell Kistler's a leader out there on the floor. That bucket is good by Crosby. Crosby's first 2 points of the game. She did miss 2 free throws earlier here in the third quarter. Kistler for 3. That one rims out, rebounded by Crosby. Kistler, nice steal once again by Lindley Kistler getting a hand on it. Remember, she led all players with 2 steals in the first half. Whitney Will, nice move on the low post. Whitney now at 3 points. Turn around, right-handed hook shot. Nybor rims in. So Shelby Nybor now with 4 points. First bucket came in the first quarter. That's her second. Cornerstone about to sub in 5 new players. Kistler has it knocked away by Moderman. Nybor with the bunny, no good, rebounded by Temple. Long three-pointer, Kistler. It's an air ball attempt, nice save. Whitney Will to Alexa Thorman. Beautiful looking play there by the Lady Cougs. We got a timeout. We'll take one here at the Hut. We'll be right back with you for some more Lady Cougar basketball.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back to the Hut. Lady Cougars leading at 75-24. 2:19 left to play here in the third quarter. A very impressive home opener here for St. Francis. Good defense there by Will, the sophomore from Fort Recovery, Ohio. One of 3 6-footers on the team. One of 4, I should say, for St. Francis. Everybody getting involved here in the scoring for the Lady Cougars. 10 players already with buckets. That baseline drive pass will result in a turnover here. Slowly getting off the floor is Will. No, excuse me, that's Chandler Jones. St. Francis looking to find that rhythm that they had there in the second quarter when they scored 30 points. Really, the first half had 27 points in the first quarter. Lady Cougars last year missing out on the national tournament. You can tell this year they want it bad. That's a three-pointer for number 24, Maya Udell. That's her first bucket of the game. Checking into the game, number 12, Tyon McKenzie, the freshman from Plainfield, Indiana, Brownsburg High School, the Bulldogs. Josie Kolkman also into the game. Josie, the tallest player for St. Francis at 6'2". Inbounds pass goes to number 23, Megan Bauer, another freshman. As once again, this is a young Cornerstone squad. This time over to Goebel. Knocked away by McKenzie. McKenzie averaging 3 minutes played per game. Does have 1 assist and 2 steals. You saw the quick hands right there by Tyon McKenzie. Nice kick out. That's about as much space as you're going to get against Lady Cougars. Katrina Goebel knocks down the triple. Her 7th point of the game. Dejanay Hinton for St. Francis. Nice lead for Kolkman off glass. Beautiful looking play there by Josie Kolkman. She becomes the 11th Lady Cougar to score. Just inside the arc, Emma Johnson drains it. Emma's first 2 points of the game. Cornerstone building on something here in the 3rd quarter. McKenzie just over the outstretched hand of Chandler Jones. Not too easy to do as Jones goes 5'10". .20 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter as Jones out by the timeline with the defense on Udell. Udell right hand dribble drive, nice pop out, step back, jumper's no good, rebounded by McKenzie. 5 seconds left, Jones, outlet pass, finds Will just through the hands. So with 0.5 seconds remaining, enough time for a catch and shoot. We'll see if the Golden Eagles have the, nope, not even going to do it. So after 3, 77-32 is your score. We'll be right back with you with more Lady Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn.
Welcome back here in the 4th quarter. Lady Cougars 77-32. Lady Cougars with 20 points there in the 3rd quarter. 12 points for Cornerstone. Cornerstone a much better quarter there in the 3rd. Really was St. Francis just coming out. It's hard to say a little bit flat with such a big lead. But you know, they came out to prove something there in the 1st half. opening up the season with that 82-49 loss against the #1 team in the country. Once again, in that game, leading St. Francis in scoring was Emma Applegate with 18 points. You had 13 from Kara Gurka and 16 from Lindley Kistler, so some strong performances there by the studs for St. Francis. Lauren McGuire was 1 of 7 from the field and 1 of 6 from beyond the arc with 5 points in that game. And that was her first game back from after a year off. And then Savannah Buck, 3 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc with 9 points and 11 assists. So 1 point short of a double-double there. That was in the that was the win against Doane. In that tough game against Concordia, it was Kara Gurka with 19 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double for Gurka, the only player in double digits there against the #1 team in the country, Concordia. Kara Gurka in this game here, not being called on to do too much. She's got 6 points. Turnaround right-hand shot off the mark by number 4, Katrina Goebel. Other direction, left hand too strong. Goebel underneath, putback's no good. Kolkman with the rebound. Once again, the ball movement by the Lady Cougars has been phenomenal in this game. Dejanay Hinton, strong take to the cup. Her first 2 points of the game for Dejanay. And that is the 12th Lady Cougar to score in this one. Dejanay Hinton, a sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana Snyder High School. Once again, it's a matinee game. Cougar volleyball team taking part in semifinal action. 3 p.m. today at the Hut. Now checking into the game for Kolkman will be number 23, Sam Walsh, the sophomore from Mooresville, Indiana. So once again, everybody getting involved here for St. Francis. Feed down low, just off the outstretched hand of number 40 for your Cougars. That's Treasure Hurst, the senior. Nice drive to the cup for number 11, Emma Johnson. Johnson's 4th point. A little chilly here in the Hut as it's starting to feel like winter outside. Here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from the Ohio border, 45 minutes away from the Michigan border. That's where Cornerstone resides, up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Beautiful gym they have there at Cornerstone. I believe the Golden Eagles, the men's team, has won 3 national championships. One of their alumnus is now the coach at Indiana Tech and doing a good job, as the men's team was a preseason number 5 ranking. Down low, Hurst, off glass, rims in. I'm running out of room here on my score sheet, but Treasure Hurst now the 13th Lady Cougar to score. 13, wow. Just how Coach Ridge drew it up. Nice pass, strong take for Moderman. Brooke now with 5 points. How about these Lady Golden Eagles over here still cheering on their team? This is a tough game, but the spirits are high, as the bucket is good for Sam Walsh. She becomes the 14th Lady Cougar to score. Unbelievable. I don't know if there's anybody else left to score. Actually, I think there is. And that would be the freshman, Tya McKenzie. And if she does score, I'm going to have to figure out somewhere else to write it. Shayna Temple checking in for Hinton. It's probably the most dominant win I've seen by the Lady Cougars in a long while. under Coach Ridge for sure. Strong move on the block. Foul going to be called on Temple. That was Crosby. Crosby entering today, hitting 3 of 4 free throws, 75%. My name is Jeff Mahoney here at St. Francis. And on the camera is Morgan Carroll, freshman pitcher for the softball team. We'll be checking her out in the spring. Second one's no good. Crosby now 0 of 4 from the free throw line. Long three-pointer is up and in for number 15, Bree Cumberland. All right, so I lied. Cumberland now becomes the 14th or 15th Lady Cougar. Great day here at St. Francis. It's again just waiting for Treasure Hurst, I believe. Pass, nice snag by Cumberland. Bree Cumberland came to St. Francis from Whitco High School, the Wildcats. Top of the key three is no good for Cornerstone's DeGaynor. It'll be Temple with the inbounds pass. 5:07 left to play. Looked like for sure the Lady Cougars were going to hit the century mark. They still have a very good chance to do that. But once again, some key time on the floor for some of the Cougar reserves. Kolkman down low. Josie now with 4 points, all here in the second half. McKenzie now off the bench for the Cougs. Elbow jumpers left short for Crosby. Crosby still with 2 points in this game. Cumberland for 3, doing a good job of tracking down that pass. Shot was off the mark. DeGaynor picked up by Dejanay Hinton. Good help defense there by number 23, Sam Walsh for the Cougs. Gamble with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Right hand dribble drive, puts on the brakes there. Right in the low post. Possession's going to stay with Cornerstone. 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Treasure Hurst and McKenzie back in the game. Yeah, 15. Good job of getting that shot off by number 34, Richards. It's Missy Moss with the putback. Moss, first bucket of the game. Foul's going to go against Richards. That's her third. The inbounds pass, that'll be Cumberland. Lobs it into Kolkman. Cumberland tracking it down there. Possession will stay with St. Francis. 50-point advantage. The Lady Cougs here at the Hut. Cumberland coming out, doing a good job, and the steal, quick hands. Ellen Kresic, shouldn't say the steal, but the tip ball. Kresic, just a freshman at 5'6" from Parrington, Michigan. 6 seconds. Wow. Feed down low was intended for number 43, Rachel Chris, hit right off the rim. Up next for Cornerstone, they will take on Bethel. That's at Bethel before starting conference action against Rochester. So they're getting tuned up for the WAC with some Crossroads League opponents. Last year, Cornerstone was 11-9 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Not bad, as Indiana Tech did take the conference with a 30-5 record. Overall, 18-2 in conference play. Cornerstone, once again, just you don't recognize a lot of these players. Sheridan led the team in scoring with 16.6, and Verdervog with 11.1. So pretty much all their leading scorers are gone. It's Hurst at the free throw line. This is the first. Second one off the heel. Still a 50-point advantage for St. Francis. Kresic. This is number 20, Lexi Bovin. That pass is stolen by Ty McKenzie. McKenzie's got a lot of speed out there on the floor. That pass was knocked away by Kresic. Ellen Kresic is putting in some good minutes here for Cornerstone, making the most of her opportunity. Tyon McKenzie's first bucket of the game for the freshman. McKenzie becomes the 16th player to score in this game. I think that's everybody. Good stuff. Of course, once again, the schedule will get much tougher for the Lady Cougars. 4 Crossroads League teams are ranked in the top 25. Marion at 4, St. Francis at 14, Wesleyan at 15, and Taylor at 19. Free throw attempt is off the mark for Chris. Second one as well. Rebounded by Cornerstone. 3-pointers off the heel, no good. Bounding ball is knocked out of bounds by the Golden Eagles with 1:50 left to play. So the Lady Cougars going to improve their record to 2-1 on the season, as Cornerstone will fall to 1-5. Cornerstone once again will travel to Bethel before starting conference play. Lady Cougars won't start conference play until November the 20th at Spring Arbor. That's a 5 p.m. tip-off. I believe that's game 1 of a doubleheader. I'm loving it this year, the Crossroads League. More doubleheaders than we've ever had. Second one is good. So we got 3 possessions of basketball left if these two teams work the shot clock. McKenzie bounce pass into Kalkman as she's tied up. They're going to call the foul on Chris. We'll go ahead and talk with Coach Ridge after the game, after this big win. St. Francis as a team shooting 54% from the field, 37% from beyond the arc, and 54% from the free throw line. So definitely some things you can work on. Bank shot is up and in. Three-pointer by Bovin. Inside 1 minute to play. Man, McKenzie is fast, but she'll be called there with the carry. Her burst of speed kind of reminds you of Skylar Shern from back in the day. Skylar was a 2014 NAIA Player of the Year. Lady Cougar is going to need that speed. Got to also learn how to control it down there on the floor. That's blocked by McKenzie. They'll call it a foul on number 12. Ty McKenzie, the only freshman for St. Francis. Coach Rich has a huge sophomore class. Just one senior in Treasure Hurst. Chandler Jones, Kara Gurka, Savannah Buck, Shayna Temple, all juniors. Remember McBriar with the medical redshirt a year ago, just a sophomore. McKenzie, nice find. Hurst down low, off glass. 27 seconds remaining in this game. That is going to do it. Lady Cougars, 4 players in double-digit scoring. Once again, led by Emma Applegate. And folks, St. Francis wins it 93-44. We're going to go down and get some interviews. Once again, folks, later on tonight at 7 p.m. is the Crossroads League Tournament semifinal between St. Francis and Indiana Wesleyan here. The two teams did split the series in the regular season. Thank you, guys. Once again, Emma Applegate leading all scorers. Emma had 19 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 3 from the free throw line with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. Lauren McBriar with 10 points was 3 of 8 from the field and 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Lauren had 1 assist and 1 steal. Savannah Buck with 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Lindley Kistler with 11 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 8 from beyond the arc. 1 of 1 from the free throw line with 3 rebounds. Lady Cougars now 2-1 on the season. Coach Ridge going to meet with his team, and then we'll get together with Coach Ridge. St. Francis shooting 51% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc. 8 of 20 shooting. And 64% from the free throw line. Coach, outstanding win here in your home opener on the season. Lady Cougars now 2-1. Talk about that first half here. It looked like everything going right for the Cougs.
Well, we have a lot of experience out on the floor, and we have a lot of people who have been through this before. And Cornerstone plays really, really hard, and they're well coached. They have a lot of good things going for them, but they're a little bit inexperienced, and we knew that. And so we wanted to come out, and if you've been a St. Francis fan here for a while, you've seen Savannah Buck playing for a long time. You've seen Sydney Crow going at it here for a while, and Kara. And I thought those girls all just did a nice job of coming out and setting the tone and just being aggressive. And we got some confidence early, and it was just kind of like one of those halves where everything just started clicking a little bit.
You talk about Sydney Crow, and aggressive is definitely the word there. Seemed like Cornerstone could not really get their shot off in the first half, really in the third quarter as well. Defense kind of setting the tone for this team?
I mean, we've worked a lot harder this year than we've ever worked defensively. We just feel like it's an area that we have to get better, and we have good length. I like the length of our team, and get people like Sid or even Kara and Emma. We have good length, and so we just feel like if we get out there and pressure the ball and we can make things tough on people. I think the thing that I was the most happy with defensively today, we were contesting shots and rebounding, which gave us a chance to get out in transition, and I thought we got some good looks. I mean, it sure is nice to have Lauren McBriar back out there on the floor, and I thought she got some really good, clean looks at it today, and maybe didn't go at the rate that it's going to in the future. But all in all, this was just a really good team win for us. And I think if there's another thing I think stands out to me, just kind of off the top of my head here, I think we've seen kind of the evolution of Emma Applegate into a multi-purpose threat, inside, outside. And I thought she put together another really, really good game today. It is her birthday, so we're going to wish Emma a happy birthday. But just all in all, it was a good effort. I mean, I think one of the things, whenever I talk to you, you try to point out those things that really stand out. But Savannah Buck gives us the exact same thing every game. She just gives us good, steady effort. She got her hand on so many basketballs today, and it makes so many people look better. But I was also really happy that we were able to get into our bench today and get some experience for some people that haven't gotten very many minutes. So if I'm right, I could be wrong, but I think Tyon McKenzie got her first college basket tonight. So that's fun to see. We know we got our work cut out for us ahead, but this is just a nice way to kick off our home season.
Yeah, I think it was 16 different Lady Cougars scored today.
Well, we'll take that, and now hopefully this scoring will carry over into the volleyball match. It's going to start here in a couple hours, so go Cougs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
We're going to go ahead and grab Emma Applegate. Once again, like Coach Rich said, Emma last year towards the end of the season took on a starting role with the Lady Cougars, and now out of 3 games, she's been the leading scorer for St. Francis. So things really going well for Emma. Today is her birthday. She's only a sophomore out of South Bend, Indiana, and really kind of fulfilling a big role and really making a name for herself now with St. Francis. So Emma, congratulations on a great game. We'll start off. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. 3 games into the season, in 2 of these 3 games, you are the leading scorer. So tell us how this season's kind of started for you.
The season started really well, but my teammates, they're the ones that feed me the ball. So,
what's it been like having Lauren McBriar back on the floor? In her freshman year, she was a contender for the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year. That went to her teammate Kara Gurka, but it's got to be a big help for you guys having someone else to kind of distract the defense.
Oh, for sure. She is an outstanding shooter, and as she gets more comfortable, she's just going to help us out even more. She really spreads out the floor, which opens up the paint for drives and for Kara and I to get scores inside.
Yeah, talk about your game. Where do you feel most comfortable? We saw you knock down some 3-pointers today. Obviously, down in the low post, you're getting it done as well. But just kind of talk about the evolution of your game in this offense.
He just Coach puts people where he knows that we're going to succeed. And, I've kind of transitioned from a guard to a post, and I'm comfortable. He puts me in places where he knows that I can score and that I can help the whole team out as a whole. So it's nice.
Well, you took on one of the best teams in the country earlier this season. It was a tough loss against Concordia, but what did you guys take away from that game?
We really need to take care of the ball better and trust each other. We had a lot of turnovers, and that gave us a lot of missed opportunities to score because we didn't get the ball down the court.
Well, Emma, congratulations and good luck the rest of the season. Thank you. Folks, that's Emma Applegate, once again the leading scorer in today's game. Keep an eye out on our YouTube channel. It is 4:35 here at the Hutzel Athletic Center. And at 7 o'clock, we are going to have the Crossroads League semifinals. Once again, Coach Scott Haddix and the Lady Cougars are the co-Crossroads League regular season champions, and they're going to take on Indiana Wesleyan at 7 p.m., and the winner will move on to the championship game. Thanks again for joining us here for Lady Cougar basketball. Until next time, I'm Jeff Mahoney. We had Morgan Carroll on the camera. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great rest of the week.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.